What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist here with
Gersh 1.
And today we're back at it, answering questions from you guys in another installment of For the Greater.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put a question in front of your question because we get to those questions first. We also have super thanks. So if you guys want to support the channel, you can send us a super thanks with a question, and we are going to answer it. It's a guaranteed answer. You don't have to ask a question, but it does. I mean, it would be awesome if you did. And that is what
Jason Dole has done. He says, no question, just supporting the channel.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, much appreciated.
So let's get into the questions now.
Yeah, so this one is by Subject Keeter. How is Khorne considered a good fighter if he can't even get off his throne and 1v1 me?
That's actually a really good point. It's one of those things where, like, the Chaos Gods are supposed to be one of the most powerful things in the entire galaxy.
Oh, for sure.
And yet, they don't ever leave the warp. They can't leave the warp. It's just, like, not physically possible. And that is because we have small, tiny, pathetic minds that try to grasp the concept of, like, the Chaos Gods in physical form. Mm-hmm. And you can't because they're warp stuff.
Yeah, they have births, and yet they were always here.
They're timeless, all-powerful. Well, maybe not all-powerful, but they're timeless, and they just exist everywhere at all times.
Yeah. The way their strength is perceived is through their minions.
Yes.
And if you didn't know, the Chaos God uses a little bit of themselves to create lesser demons, greater demons, demon princes, chaos spawn, anything and everything, chaos related to that god. Yep. So in a way, it's an extension of the god in real space.
Yep. Think of kind of like, I don't even know, like water, where droplets of water would be like lesser demons, and then like the entire ocean is the chaos god. Would the entire ocean ever like step out and hurt somebody? Waves. But even like that, it's not like you're getting hit with the entire ocean. You're just getting hit with a portion of it. So he could 1v1 you, but then he would knock you upside the head, send you through his domain, flying for how many years did that one demon fly?
It was something like 3 years or something like that. Yeah,
so it gets ridiculous when they start talking about what Chaos Gods have done in their domains, because they can manipulate time and space.
Yeah, so I guess that is a feat of strength for Khorne. So Ka-Banda, one of his strongest bloodthirsters, got tricked into like smacking Khorne on his throne, and Khorne literally just backhanded him, sent him flying through the warp for like a crazy amount of like years or something like that. Think about it this way. There's no time in the warp, and yet he went flying through the warp for years. Yep. And that's why, like, when you see him, he's missing half his face, his wings are all tattered. That's Khorne doing it to his strongest minion, and that was like nothing to him.
Yeah. So physical actions still take place. It's just kind of weird, and sometimes if you want to sit and think about it, it's just going to hurt your brain.
Yeah.
So just paint more minis.
There you go.
Good question, though.
This next one is by Adeptus Astartes. How do you guys think that GW will release the squats as an army, and is it going to affect the balance of power in the game?
I hope not, and I don't really think so. When we were around when the Adeptus Mechanicus came out, and it was sad. Like, the Adeptus Mechanicus came out, they were okay, but they were still kind of wonky. Same thing with the Adeptus Custodes. When they came out, they were just kind of like, it was very small.
Yeah.
So just expect not that many miniatures in comparison to the other factions, and also maybe a slight, like, they might be strong just because their codex is out.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. I think it's going to be another thing of like power creep, where like, look at this army, it's the newest thing, it's the strongest thing, you need to buy this army, and then they'll nerf them.
Yes.
But yeah, they'll definitely be competitive. I don't have a doubt about that. They look cool.
Yeah. Next question comes from Kraken. What rights do Imperial citizens have? It depends on the Imperial world. So the cool thing about planets in the Imperium is that it's controlled by a planetary governor. So if you have a planetary governor that is just, that is like respectful, then obviously those people are going to have more rights and powers. There is no like centralized government that gives certain rights to imperial citizens. It's the opposite. The centralized government, which is the ecclesiarchy or the high lords, restricts a lot of things. There are things you can't do.
Right. Yeah. And it's very, how do I put it? Like, it depends. Like, one world might be really, like, oppressive, but then maybe the High Lord gets taken out, or they get eaten by Tyranids and they're not oppressed anymore.
Yeah. Also, like, feudal worlds exist. I always think of Rogue Trader. No. Rogue One from Star Wars.
Yeah.
The opening scene where, like, they're looking for the dude who has the blueprints.
And he's, like, they're on the farm and all that.
Yeah, so there's a lot of planets like that. And obviously those people have way more freedom, kind of, like, primitive freedoms, than, like, the people who live on...
Like Alderaan and stuff like that. Yeah, because like, you think Star Wars and you think, oh, people in ships, lightsabers, blasters. That's not everybody. You got your farmers. I mean, look at, what was his name, Owen? Luke's adopted father.
Oh, yeah.
They're farmers.
Yep. And they're oppressed by the
Empire.
The Hutts, no?
Oh, yeah. Unless that changed.
But I don't know if it was at that time, but yeah.
Because Boba Fett, you had the Hutts, and then they were gone, and then Boba stepped in.
Yeah.
Cold Fist says, with a new Demon Prince model coming out with a bunch of options and different heads and whatnot, do you think we can get a custom Primarch kit? I think it would be more likely now to have a build a Primarch. And then he said he would build an ape-themed Primarch with dual power fists named Unga D Bunga. That's just Calgar. Yeah. He's got the big fists.
Calgar has that?
Power fists, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The chapter master of the Ultramarines.
Yeah. And you have a model for him. So just kit bash that
Two models, an old crappy one and a newer crappy one.
With the same pose.
I never liked Calgar.
I didn't think he was too bad. But I don't think that we're going to get a...
No, build your own Primarch thing. No. Primarchs are unique, established characters. GW needs to bank on each one of them. You've seen how intricate and like detailed their sculpts are in the Horus Heresy. So I think we'll be seeing that in... Well, we've seen it already. Like, we got Gilliman, we got Mortarion and Magnus.
Yep. Too bad, though. I would buy that right away, and it would force me to create a brand new army. So. Yeah. Next question comes from Brian B. Is there a Gersh 2? Not yet. And I will have a Gersh 2 when all my models are built and painted.
Because then he's going to use all those models and glue them together to create said Gersh 2.
Yes. Next one.
Zombie God. If the Warhammer 40K universe is cyclical and repeats itself as established by the Nurgle demon Ku'gath, speaking about how Chaos won more and destroyed reality more than not, do you think that the Emperor is aware of this and knows what will or should happen to defeat Chaos?
Yes. That's part of my theory, is that it goes beyond just the modern era. So back in the day, the old ones were the good guys, quote unquote, fighting the Necron tier, which were the bad guys, and the old ones were psychically powerful. So they were basically the Chaos Force, fighting the Necrons, which would be the humanity, the real Space Force. And then it flipped with the War in Heaven, and then the psychically powerful people became kind of the reason the galaxy was plagued and all that stuff. And then it flipped again, and with the Age of Strife, and it's just cycles. And now I think Psychic is going to be more powerful, but that might change with the Tau. I don't know.
Yeah, it's very hard to tell exactly when and where and how it'll happen, but yeah, definitely very cyclical. The past repeats itself, so.
Or what's the saying? The past doesn't repeat itself, it just rhymes, or something like that. Next question comes from Carrie Vaught. Are those dogs in the background bound for the light of the Emperor? If not, what nefarious purpose does your soul hold? What? Yes. Yes, they are.
And I'll pretend like I'm on Family Feud. Good answer. Good answer.
Yeah.
Good answer.
Next question.
Turd Ferguson. Would you rather know the ending for all races and classes in 40K, but can't tell anybody? Or get a new model for free for life, but you can't paint them or sell them? Or get every new model for free for life?
But you can't paint them? Can you build them?
Yeah, you can build them and play them and whatnot, but you can't just like get rid of them.
Oh, I'd rather do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Because what's all that knowledge if you can't use it?
Yeah. Also, like, we play with gray armies all the time.
Yeah.
So, not too bad.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll do last question. This one comes from Nox Umbra. Can Necrons take 2 different dynasties in a Battleforge army? Can you have Battalion Mefrit and a Patrol of Novahawk?
As long as it falls in the right army composition, yeah.
Really?
Like I think you could bring 2 of the same race, but you have to have like a warlord.
Yeah, like a mercenary type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although we haven't played for a year, so I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Because I know they've been doing a lot of updates, a lot of like new point values have been changed. They added new rules, Armor of Contempt, and all that stuff. So who knows?
When are we going to play? Hopefully this week.
Yeah, we'll see.
I feel like we said that last week. For a year.
You're right. Every week for the past year. But it's like so much to learn because like even like Battlescribe, they don't have like the new rules added in.
Oh, really?
Because I think they only do like rules for the models and rules that like point values. But like these are like additional rules, so I guess they don't have that unless we have to download a different PDF or something.
Maybe
it's a lot.
We should watch Mini Wargaming, their battle reports.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or just be better bookkeepers.
That's true,
because that's what GW wants apparently.
Apparently,
you got to jump in there with 3 codices, 2 supplements, a PDF.
It's exhausting.
It is.
I'd rather just play Magic or go play volleyball.
There you go.
And those were the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, please comment down below. Thank you guys so much for the super thanks, and we'll talk tomorrow.
That's right. This has been the Sound Alchemist.
Gersh 1.
And we are out of here.